Welcome to yet another episode on Venerable Mother Eliswa, who will be solemnly beatified on 8th November 2025. As anybody who is in pursuit of holiness, Mother Eliswa also was subjected to trials and tribulations and sufferings. Theologically, that phase is called the dark night of the soul. In case of Mother Eliswa, we find extreme things happening, oscillating like a pendulum, from happiness to sorrow, again sorrow to hope, again unbearable suffering, like that it goes on. Faith alone could explain these different critical phases. We find her as a happily married young woman. But within a few years, when she had her daughter, who was just 1.5 years old, she becomes a widow. Then again, she knew in her innermost being that God has selected and separated her for a particular mission. So she was trying to discern what it is, what it was. It was, in fact, yet another painful period in her life, because her in-laws were trying to get her married as it was the custom. And they had great love, and they supported Eliswa. But then they thought it is wise to get her married as soon as possible because of many, many reasons. For her own security, for the sake of another daughter, and also for the security of the vast properties that they had. But then she was undecided. She was put in a very, very difficult phase of life of indecision, because she knew it, but what it is remained a mystery for her. But then finally, she comes in terms with that. She knows, she understands, and she could beautifully convey it to the spiritual father as well as her own parents and other well-wishers. And she became the foundress of the first TOCD congregation for women. So from this happiness, we find that she being pushed to the extreme pain of losing an only child, the death of Anna. Again, in the new religious congregation, due to divisions according to rites and so on, she is again subjected to a very, very indescribable and very sad and illogical predicaments. Very, very painful epoch that ended in her eviction of herself and the Latin Rite sisters from the convent, which was built by her with the patrimony of her daughter and herself and her sister, and also donations coming in from well-wishers, of course. So this was another great tragedy. Then, of course, she and her sisters could cross over to pastures new. Everything was nice and rosy at Varapura. Then she loses her sister, biological sister, and so to say, the future of the congregation, Theresia. So we find like a pendulum, from happiness to sorrow, from hopelessness to the hope, a life oscillating like that. So I think we have Sister Francina Mendez CTC with us. Sister, could you please explain the first phase of her suffering? You may start with her childhood and marriage, and then to the widowhood.
You see, Mother Eliswa had a big family. She was born into a very large family. And there, they were financially sound. She was educated. And there was always love and concern in the family. So anyway, she had a very, very happy childhood. And at the age of 16, that is in the year 1847, she got married. Thank God there also, she was married to a very wealthy family that was in Kunamawa, and the family name is Vagayil. Yes. So, and she got a handsome, God-fearing husband and healthy. He was healthy and wealthy, I'll say. And there also she had in-laws, loving, with very, that is always considerable to her. Then like that there also she was having a happy life. And there were tenants to look after the family matters, their servants, everything was there. And after 2 years, that is in the year 1850, she was blessed with a girl child, Anna. And about Anna, the forefathers are saying that she was very lively, very brave, and naughty, not the other naughtiness.
Yeah.
But a lively child.
A sort of innocence, childish innocence.
Yeah.
Yes.
And grew in a happy family life. But all on a sudden, there was a blow, a grievous blow, I'll say, that Vattaru fell ill, her husband Vattaru fell ill, and a mysterious sickness. Nobody could find out what is, even though he was given all possible medicines and all possible, that is, everything was given to him. But God's ways are different. He was called for eternal rest. That was a grievous blow for Mother Eliswa, because she got married only because there was no other way. And from childhood itself, she was always focusing on God. Her deep faith made her to focus on God. So she was always thinking on that line only. Then only this is happening. So after her husband's death, everybody thought that now she will be lonely or she will be moody because she had such a good husband. But
maybe she will even have a faith crisis.
Faith crisis, yes. But she found solace in faith alone, in God alone. So all her consolation was prayer, silence, and solitude. So she found happiness in that really, in that prayer life. And meanwhile, she was doing some charity work also. That is, there were tenants for them. And before I have said that she used to call them, even though they were, that is, they were other caste.
Lower, so-called lower
caste. She called them and taught them not only the alphabets, but in one way or the other, it was a catechism teaching. And after that, she asked her in-laws that she felt herself to pray more. But the family, a big family, a rich family, so many guests were there. And she was having a lot of free time. So she wanted to pray more. She asked her in-laws to prepare their granary into a prayer room.
For her, exclusively for her.
Exclusively for her. And she, with her daughter and the little girl, used to go there, pray. And that prayer also, that something important was there or something unique was there, that she always turned to the tabernacle of St. Philomena's church, Kunama, because in between there were no houses. So she could see the tabernacle or the church, if not the tabernacle, even the church, straight. So she and the little child used to turn that side and pray. The family members were forcing for a second marriage, but she firmly said no to that because she was high thinking, maybe through the ways of God, she was thinking. And again, there was a call within her call. That also she was not able to find out what it is. So there was a lot of stirrings in her heart. We cannot understand. She cannot understand, or she is not able to make others to understand about that. So that also I'll say a trial, or I don't know in what way to put it.
It's a mental agony.
Mental agony. Yes. A mental agony, and not able to express that. She cannot share it with the little girl. She cannot share it with the in-laws. So that also was mental suffering for her. And I'll say throughout what I have seen after reading her, reading her life, I understood that she was a silent sufferer. Not complaining, silence of her totally.
Neither questioning nor complaining.
Yeah, totally submissive to God. And the next I told the call within the call, and that was another trial for her. Because there was opposition from the society, from the family, and her own hardships. As I told you, what it is, she's not able to discern that. And at last, after her confession to Father Leopold Beccaro, she was able somewhat, I'll say somewhat, able to understand what her call was. And then next started the travel towards it. And in 1866, on February 13th, that wish came true. Our congregation was started on that day, the TOCD. And difficulties were there because the administration is there. So many things that they had. She had to set up so many things there. No? But what happened is, just 4 years after, her daughter, she also had a mysterious disease and she also died. And when I think of that, I also feel like crying because Anna was her own daughter, the flesh and blood.
Yes.
And when she fell sick, this biological mother was not able to care for her or to give more attention to her because now she is only mother superior to her, not her biological mother. So I always think how much she must have suffered because of that. Because she cannot express it before the other sisters. That will cause some, what to say, they can say that She is loving more her daughter.
Showing more love and
Love and
concern.
concern for her daughter, not for her. It can happen. So that also was a deep suffering for her. And maybe she was crying or weeping in her room.
Yes.
And not outside, not expressing it outside. And after Anna's death again, everything went on smoothly.
And now was how old she was when she died? Maybe 17, 20?
No, she was
21 years.
21 years.
21 years
She
old.
was 21 years old, yeah. Young girl.
Young girl,
yeah.
young girl.
The bloom of life. So after that, everything went on smoothly. Then again, another shock. That was the division of the rights. And it was not just for one day she had to suffer because of that. Days and months and years she had to suffer over that. Because disputes were going on. From Rome, the definitors coming here and to find out what is wrong, what is right. But always the wrong thing was given more importance than what was right. And these Latin sisters, together with the foundress, they were under house arrest, I'll say. And then another suffering is that she was not allowed to meet her own brother, Father Luis Diosidi, who was the first Carmelite priest. And they had to confess to a Syrian father who was always, confession secret is important, but may not be the confession secret, but maybe what is happening inside them. Maybe he was sharing that they were not able to make a good confession. A spiritual woman not able to make a proper confession, we can just imagine what her spiritual sufferings will be.
Yes, yes. I've read somewhere, Father Louis, who was a very well-known and important figure in the church history of Kerala Church. He tried to meet her, but he was denied permission. And finally, the new superior didn't permit him. Yeah. And finally, he had to approach the Vicar Apostolic of Trichur,
Yes.
Adolphus Medlicourt, and where he was very critical about these things and got permission. And then it was only then she was able to
Yes.
meet her brother.
And for few minutes.
Few minutes, yes.
Half an hour. But before half an hour, they asked him to leave them. So just few minutes, only he was able to talk to them. So that was another blow. And she had to leave everything. And we CTCs, when we think of that, it's very painful for us because the foundress with the Latin sisters, after living 24 years in Kunamava, and all the sisters
Living together without as
one, and all the sisters were taken by her, received to the congregation by her.
As the foundress.
As the foundress, yeah. And then coming down the steps empty-handed. Nothing. The only belongings they had, only their dress. Other than that, they had nothing. And not only that, where to go? They were in the air, totally in the air. But God's providence was there. They were given a temporary shelter. That is at St. Teresa's Convent,
Ernakulam.
Yeah. There they enjoyed love, concern, everything. But in the heart of heart, that pain will be deep, especially for the foundress. That pain will be deep. And when she came away from Kunamawa, no complaint, no opposition, never asking for anything, not a penny in the hand. Like that only, just like a beggar. When I say this, I remember her first words. That is when the fourth member entered the congregation. Father Leb, that was on the second day, on February 14. When Father Leopold brought that fourth member to Mother Eliswa, Father Leopold asked her, you get permission from the foundress, Mother Eliswa. But then, Mother Eliswa received her saying, we are only poor and beggars. And I am so happy I accept you. And she embraced her. And that member was from the Syrian Rite. And she was given the name Clara because her baptismal name was Eliswa. So Father Leopold was so prudent that there should not be two persons of the
same name.
Yeah, so she was given the name Clara. And now that is happening here. When she came away from Kunamawa empty-handed, as poor and beggar. And at St. Teresa's, they looked after her very well. And they lived there for 52 days. And after that, they were brought to Varapura. There the fathers, the bishop, everybody received them very solemnly. They came by houseboat. Very solemnly they...
From Ernakulam to Varapura.
To Varapura, yeah. And they received them, the people, all the parishioners of Varapura, they were there. And it was beautiful to... How I know this is, I read in the Chronicles it is written. So from that I can just understand how solemn it was and how they were brought to Varapura convent. The hall, the first hall there, the statue was Our Lady of Pompeii is there. So we call that hall as the Hall of Our Lady of Pompeii. So they came to
from without a penny in hand, like beggars, now happily settled, everything fine, nice.
Yeah, yes. Nice. They came to Varapura. But initial difficulties were there because shortage of members. And not only that, another difficulty was that in Kunamawa, there were many orphans. And what happened is that these orphans, when they, Mother Eliswa and the Latin sisters left from there, they made hole in the, that is a fence. Yeah, and they escaped from there saying that there no love, we don't get love from there, we get love from Mother Eliswa and the sisters only. And they were brought here. And because of that, they had to look after, Mother Eliswa had to look after the sisters
as well as the orphans.
So the difficulties were there, but the bishop and the priest were very generous. And they helped them very much. And after coming here, at one, the school was started. The next year itself, the school was started. And because for women, because she knew that Kunamawa, after starting the school, many were educated, not only from Kunamawa, from outside also. Neighboring places. Yeah, they were coming. So here also she wanted to start a school, and there was no place. Even this hall was divided into two, and the first standard was begun there, and big students only there. That was disparity in age was there. Young ones were there.
Older
ones were there, like that. So the life started in Varapura. And meanwhile, what happened is her sister Theresia, because Anna died in Kunama. She's buried there.
Buried there. Okay.
So here, Mother Theresia was very active, very capable. And Father Leopold used to call her, "You are another Holy Mother Saint Teresa of Avila." Like that, Father Leopold used to call her. That much serious and smart and very talented she was. Mother Teresa was very talented, and she was a good support for Mother Eliswa in everything. It was that I'll say she was very helpful to her. And what happened is, again, Mother Eliswa had to meet another shock. That is Theresia's death.
That also very untimely.
Untimely. And that also was a grievous blow for Mother Eliswa. Then after that, she wanted, sisters were there. Many joined the congregation, and there was no shortage of sisters. Many were joining the convent, and there was an increase in the number of the sisters. And with that, they started the school, and they were sent to St. Teresa's College for studies. And like that, the congregation was going on. That is, what to say, it was improving. In every way, it was improving.
So almost the phase of great sufferings slowly ended towards the end of Mother Eliswa's life, probably. Because now you had vocations, you had many institutions, everything. So in a way, see, through her heroic life, she was teaching. She was a textbook, I must say, to the future religious, especially of your congregation, because the way how she met sufferings, trials and all that, how she reasoned about those things, how she understood that these were not just valueless, but redemptive in nature. So that's why I call her a textbook, you know. Through her life, she taught posterity. I mean, that is how her life is relevant for us here and now. So thank you, sister, for telling us about the great sufferings of Mother Eliswa, and the way how she confronted it, and how she faced the dark night of her soul.